You just got wrecked.
He needs some milk.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome day today. Really mixed day in the markets today. Some coins are down a small percent, others are up. We have some in the deep red and some in the deep green. So what is going on today? Well, a little bit of everything. Honestly, depends on what you're invested in currently. But the one thing that we do know is that Bitcoin is still currently struggling after that dip when we got rejected at around the $11,000 level. Now, we are still in the middle of this resistance support sort of no man's land band, right? So it is going to be interesting to see what Bitcoin does in the upcoming weeks, especially what we do in the next couple of months. We do know that it could be some tough times for Bitcoin. So I do want to talk about that specifically. Now, on the flip side, we can mention the fact that we do have investors increasing their exposure to crypto assets and Bitcoin, and most of them coming out saying that they plan to increase even more of their holdings into Bitcoin and crypto as well, yet we continue to see the price go sideways and actually recently fall. So what is going on, right? Well, we have one billionaire in particular that has actually doubled down, saying he's buying even more Bitcoin right now. But at the same time, we do also have a lot of things going on worldwide. Markets aren't doing quite well. Gold and traditional stocks are also down today as well. So what I want to discuss today is the potential worst case scenario for Bitcoin. Just kind of what I'm looking at. If it absolutely, gets to the worst case, Bitcoin has a major dump. What is the lowest level that I honestly, realistically think that Bitcoin could go to? Not saying that I think Bitcoin is going to go to those levels, but a lot of people ask me, so I figured I'd mention it today. Also want to talk about a big game changer for the Polkadot ecosystem that really could provide that, well, kind of blow to the Ethereum network, although some people could say it could potentially complement it. That is, up to you and your opinion. And also, I want to say shout out to Machine Elf 2891 for making me officially an NFT. That's right, guys. I am a collectible. CryptoZombie is officially on the blockchain. I think this is about the peak of my career. I can pretty much just quit YouTube right now, right? This is basically it. Top of the mountain for me, but now that is pretty cool though. It is awesome. Also, I do have a pretty cool story about NFTs and some artwork related to Bitcoin later in this video. So if all that sounds good to you today, those are going to be the main topics of today's video. Stick around to the end. We do have a few surprises. Thank you so much once again. If you're not subscribed, do consider it, and we give away a Ledger Nano S every single Monday. Drop a comment and you are eligible. Let's dive in and have a look. So, like I said, guys, if I zoom in right here, this is sort of that level between the $10,383 and $10,500 level where sort of Bitcoin is just hanging out, right? Now, we do notice that currently we're struggling breaking back into this zone. If we do fall below it, we do risk going back down to the low 10,000s. Now, not to be worried about that, because as I've been pointing out, we would still technically be in this ascending trend. You can see the purple line right here, where Bitcoin tends to pretty much get supported. So as long as we can maintain above 9,500, no reason to really get bearish, right? However, gold is currently dumping. We have the S&P had a nice little rebound yesterday, but it is also dumping today. And we have noticed that a lot of these markets do move in sort of correlation, right? So what does this mean for Bitcoin? What if we actually don't see investors coming back into Bitcoin as the safe haven asset? What if we do see stocks get hit for the next 2 months? What if gold does continue to fall? What is the worst case scenario for Bitcoin? Well, we did speak about this trend, right? This ultimate trend down here, and this is the macro trend on the monthly, and I know I said 9,500, but if we zoom out, that is actually closer to about 8,666. But if we fall below that, well, then we're going to put ourselves back below this purple dotted line, which is from the wick of 2017 and the wick of 2019, which represents the absolute highest prices, and that would be, well, most people would say that would be pretty bearish, because now we're putting in, an extreme lower high, even though technically we still are putting in a lower high. In order to break that, we have to get above 13,880. Well, what do I think would be the lowest level for Bitcoin? Well, it's quite simple, and it's the moving average that we've been looking at pretty much since I started this channel, which is the 200 weekly moving average, which Bitcoin has never really actually fallen below. It's gotten very close to it. Yes, we've wicked below it on the week. We've only closed below it really once, and that was right up here during the scare of the pandemic, right? But keep in mind, on the monthly, we've never actually ever closed below this line again. You can see right back here between January 5th of 2015 and October 12th of 2015, it provided massive support for us right here. And then up here, we had the little dip below, on the pandemic. And right here, it actually was the absolute bottom for the 2018 bear market, right? That basically was when we bottomed out and we started the reversal at that point. So that's why I think that we will not fall below that level. And the price today, I'll give you the exact price, is currently sitting at $6,726. So, and if you want, yes, I'm technically making a prediction here, although I don't like to make predictions, but I would say that based on the data, Bitcoin will never close a monthly candle. Not to say it can't go down there super quick, but I do not believe we will ever end a month ever again with Bitcoin ever trading below $6,726. And also keep in mind that, this is going upwards. This moving average is moving upwards. So, the longer it takes for Bitcoin to fall, the more you move up. So by the time, basically by the end of the year, if you think we're going to end the year out negative, you might actually be looking at around a $7,200 to $7,500 Bitcoin. So that is my Bitcoin worst case scenario for all my Bitcoin bears out there who think it's time to absolutely nuke it and Bitcoin's going to zero. Bitcoin is not going to zero, but if it does fall, that's my worst case scenario. Now that we have the doom and gloom out of the way, let's talk about the positives. So according to research from crypto assets insurance firm Avertis, I believe they're called, more than a quarter of pension fund insurers and family offices are expected to dramatically increase their level of investment in crypto assets over the next 5 years. The research also found that a further 64% anticipate a slight rise in allocation for hedge funds. The dramatic increase is expected by an even larger percent, around 32%. Now, when these same individuals were asked on the reasons for their change in the increase in crypto investment levels, a whopping 84% of these respondents cited a likely improvement in regulatory infrastructure. Another 80% pointed to the growth in the crypto market and an increase in liquidity, right? These big whales don't want to go in and buy Bitcoin on these spot exchanges. They're going to absolutely send the price all over the place, right? That's why a lot of them do buy OTC. So lots of people say, hey, K-Dub, all the time you're talking about these big institutions accumulating Bitcoin. How come we're not seeing it in the price? Well, that's because they're not buying it on spot exchanges. They're being sold from, maybe it could be something like Grayscale. A lot of the times they buy it directly from the Bitcoin miners themselves, and they just give it to them for a, one fee. Like, I'll sell you, 25, 50 Bitcoin for a flat rate, right? And that transaction is just done over the blockchain. Maybe they do it with stable coins or something like that. So we never actually see that reflected in the price. But that could be why, essentially we don't really see it. But you are seeing a lot of interest. In fact, you have popular venture capitalist Chamath Palihapitiya. In fact, he is a billionaire. His current net worth is about 1.2 billion. I believe. He said that despite making several great investments, nothing can compare with his bet on Bitcoin. In fact, he says that he has been currently accumulating more Bitcoin, even though he bought it, a while ago. Keep in mind, he is the former senior executive at Facebook. And he also hinted that, like I said, he has been sizing up, as he worded it, on buying more Bitcoin. So yeah, he's still buying more Bitcoin right now. So the thing is you have to look at it as dollar cost averaging, right? We talk about dollar cost averaging on this channel a lot. And historically speaking, if you actually had dollar cost average Bitcoin, you could see that over time it would pay off. In fact, there's a website, dcabtc.com, that you can go to. And you can just plug in, say you had purchased, $200 every week and you had been accumulating for the past 3 years and you started 3 years ago. So this means you were buying at the absolute highest and you were buying at the absolute lowest. You would still have a 47% increase. And I just did that roughly. You guys can go here and, dcabtc.com and kind of just check that out for yourself, right? So dollar cost averaging is the place to be. And like Plan B, he actually was asking, what is the current sentiment on Bitcoin and crypto right now? We have 59% saying Bitcoin and bullish, and we have 32% saying crypto and bullish. We only have 4.3% and 3.7% saying that they're bearish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies actually losing pretty much over the next 12 months. So yeah, short term could get a little bit rough. Next year, this time, I assure you, my friends, the price will be a lot higher than it is right now. Now, I do want to talk about some big news that came out, and then I want to talk about some NFTs, also something that kind of has a lot of people in crypto a little bit worried, and a good warning for a lot of new investors we'll get into as well. And then I do have a big Polkadot announcement. So we have the Chamber of Digital Commerce announced the addition of Visa, Goldman Sachs, and Six Digital Exchange to its executive committee. What is the significance of this? Well, that's what I'm about to tell you. We have Mick Mulvaney, a former White House chief of staff and co-founder of the Congressional Blockchain Caucus, will also be joining the Chamber's Board of Advisors. Now, keep in mind, he left the White House in March. On the board, he will be joining a number of figures familiar to blockchain and crypto influence as well, including Don Tapscott of the Blockchain Research Institute and former CFTC chairman Chris Giancarlo, who's now with the Digital Dollar Project. Also, to the addition of Visa and Goldman Sachs, it follows a continuing trend of greater crypto engagement by payments and banking giants. Visa's head crypto, whatever his name is, Kai Sheffield, said that Visa continuously explores new payment innovations like digital currencies and how they might be able to connect or expand our existing network and products. So the infrastructure is being built, my friends. So anybody who's bearish on blockchain, bearish on crypto, probably not a great idea, considering all of these people are basically spearheading the sort of adoption of Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto, and of course, Bitcoin by association, right? Having a look over here, though, I do want to talk about Christie's set to sell their first non-fungible token. That's right, NFTs. They have been absolutely huge, guys. Like I said, I'm an NFT, so NFTs are all over the place right now, right? But anyway, you have art historian turned blockchain artist Robert Alice has created what he's calling Portrait of Mind, which is a monumental series of 14 paintings stretching over 50 meters in length. Well, they're actually not paintings. They're actually more of sculptures, and they're these giant discs right here. And basically, they have the Bitcoin code written on all of them, and they're fragmented, and it's supposed to basically be like, decentralization, so everyone will own one of these, or 40 different people will own 40 different or 40 of these discs, whatever, but no single person will own the entire network, right? So that's kind of like the cool thing about that. So essentially that's what they're doing. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You can come check out the article right here, read a little bit more about that. And it says the piece includes a unique fungible token as an integral part of the work and will be offered at an estimated price of $12 to $18,000. I think it's $12 to $18,000, not $12. One person buys one for 12, another person buys one for 18,000. That seems a little crazy. So yeah, that's basically that situation. And talking about NFTs right here, basically, like Lark Davis was actually pointing out, a fungible item is one that can be exchanged for any similar item. So if you don't know what they are by now, once again, I'll break it down super simple. A fungible token is basically the equivalent of, like a dollar bill. Yes, technically dollar bills are different, but they're fungible, right? If you have a dollar and I have a dollar and we trade dollars, it's still a dollar, right? Whereas he explains something like, for example, a ticket, let's say a ticket to a movie or a ticket to a sports game or something like that. While technically they're both tickets, those tickets do not have the same value, right? I could have nosebleed seats all the way up at the top and you could have front row, seats or something like that. Or we could have different times for different games. So if we swap tickets, they wouldn't have the same value. But he also goes in to explain that NFTs offer a wide, array of use cases, including ownerships in digital art, in-game items, virtual land, skins, etc., but they can also extend their reach beyond the realms of just art and gaming. He sees non-fungible tokens being used in royalties, insurance, and many other enterprise solutions, including tokenizing invoices in order to take out loans, while other investors may want to position in the emerging space simply by buying NFTs, he emphasizes one particular opportunity that can deliver worthwhile gains. Perhaps the most financially lucrative use case for NFTs is going to be plugging into DeFi. MakerDAO, for example, is already working on bringing music royalties and shipping invoices into their platform. So this is pretty interesting, right? If you guys don't know, I used to actually make music back in the day, and royalties is something that's difficult to deal with, right? People using your music, using your imagery or your artwork, right? How can you secure that you are the owner, that you actually have or should get the royalties for that music, right? Imagine implementing that on the blockchain in an immutable way. It's pretty incredible, and that's definitely why you've been seeing things like, these different altcoins that are NFT related doing quite well. In fact, one that we've been talking about was Meme. Now, Meme took a massive dump. It was actually down around $600. If I give it a refresh right now, it's down about 52%. Now, they did have some news that came out and said that they partnered with Rarible, right? But nevertheless, actually, I have a quick story I want to jump into super quick. And I normally don't like doing this in videos, but I woke up this morning and there was this person on Twitter, not going to mention who, basically saying, I was pumping meme coin and it was just like a pump and dump scam or something like that. First of all, I just want to make a few things clear, guys. Number one, that is not the objective of the channel. I don't pump and dump on subscribers. When I talk about things, I literally think they're cool projects. I invest in them a lot myself, and hopefully we make gains on them. Sometimes we don't. Okay, so that's just the disclaimer. Number one, first of all, I don't own enough meme tokens to be able to actually dump the price 52%, okay? That's just crazy. If you think I have that kind of money, I don't know what you think I am, but I'm definitely not an altcoin whale. Number two, the price even today, after a 52% dump, is at $764. When I first mentioned this, by the way, which was on September 10th, so this project has been going up in value for almost 2 weeks now. Tomorrow marks 2 weeks, okay? I mentioned this at $127. At the peak, it was up at, at the peak, it was up at about $1,962. Today, it's still at $764, okay? So if you had actually bought, the first time I had ever mentioned it, even after a 50% dump, you would still be up today. So that's number two, okay? Just want to get those points out of the way. And the third point that I want to make is when it comes to investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and altcoins, there is nothing wrong for you or anyone else to take some profits. In fact, first of all, if you ended up buying just yesterday after 2 weeks, I don't know what you were waiting for. Number one. Number two, though, a lot of people, they have this I pledge allegiance to the project. Like, I'm devoted to the project. I can never sell the project. That is ridiculous, guys. In crypto, you need to take some kind of profits. In fact, I'm very transparent about that. When I told you guys about the Uniswap airdrop, people said, what was I doing with those tokens? Now, okay, that's a little different. It was an airdrop, but I sold half and I kept half. And the thing is, there's two ways we have when it comes to making money in this space. You have wealth generation and you have wealth preservation. If you buy a coin for $20 and that coin goes to $40, you have doubled your money. There's nothing wrong with taking half back, keeping your initial investment. That way you literally cannot lose if your coin goes to zero, and then letting the rest ride. And that's exactly what I do with pretty much most of these investments that I talk about on the channel. Somebody yesterday was asking me about some of the projects. I think they mentioned Linear, they mentioned OIN, and a few other ones that are down recently, right? I'm still holding them, guys. Like, I have not sold these tokens. For me, I'm not going to sell a token that's down 50%, 60%, that I personally know, or at least I think, has a potential to 10x, 20x from this point. Now, if you do not have confidence in your investments, then you shouldn't be investing in them in the first place. I mean, look at Chainlink. Chainlink is down to $8.24, right? Does that make Chainlink a bad project? Is Chainlink now no longer a good oracle because it's down? I don't know. Some people that are losing their money are probably saying, oh, screw Chainlink, it's a scam, this and that. Nothing has changed. The tech is still the same. It's just that some people are taking profit. So if you do believe in the projects that you're invested in, it's a lot easier for you to hold them long term. However, if at the first sign of the price falling, you decide that you can't hold it, or you want to dump it, or you want to sell for a loss on paper, then you really need to ask yourself why you invested in that coin in the first place. But anyway, guys, totally long rant. I probably shouldn't have even gone into that, but it just frustrates me, because we've had so many good coins, so many good picks, so many good projects on this channel. You have a coin that literally we talk about at $127. It goes up to $2,000. It dumps down to $764. People are saying pump and dump. Come on, guys. For 2 weeks, anytime you got in, the coin was basically up. So anyway, but listen, in all sincerity, there are actually scams out there. There are actually pump and dumps out there, okay? And the thing is that you should never trust anything you ever hear from anyone on the internet. And I can't stress enough, that goes for me. Now, I know I'm not lying, or I'm not, saying deceitful things to you, but you know what? Doesn't matter. You shouldn't trust me. You shouldn't trust a crypto influencer. You shouldn't trust some money guru. You shouldn't trust anybody. You never know why they're talking about the projects they are. Maybe they're just trying to shill their bags, right? Possibly. You never actually know. So best advice is to always do your own research. Make sure that it's something that you feel comfortable getting behind. It's something that you actually have some kind of faith in. Or look, hey, if you're just in it for a quick flip, then you also have to realize that as well. And you got to know when to get in and get out if that's your thing. Now, today we have a bunch of screenshots that's actually caused a big stir in the crypto community between some of the most popular ETH influencers and proponents in what was apparently supposed to be a closed Telegram group that shows a plan to create a worthless token with the sole intention of pumping its price. An experiment, they called it. Now, this token is FEW. FEW. The goal was simple: create a group of 50 smart people, airdrop a bunch of tokens to them, and watch them shill it away. You have some screenshots that say, so basically all of us, mostly who missed the meme airdrop, kind of interesting that we just went and talked so much about that coin, but anyway, trying to redeem ourselves. Exactly. Meme is already established. We need a new flash mob project that's got a blank slate. First we get the members, then we airdrop, then we figure out what the F we're doing. This group gets an airdrop. Anthony Sassano was caught saying that they need people to dump on. Another screenshot revealed DeFi dude answering to a message saying, and we pump it legally. The group discussed how they intended to do something like meme because they, or at least some of them, missed it, which I went over. Now, look. At the end, I don't know necessarily whether or not this is actually something we should take seriously, because they did come out and say, look, it was a joke. We were just kidding. In fact, Anthony Sassano basically said that he sent the coins to a burn address, like he got rid of them altogether. But the question is, what if those few 50 people went through with everything they planned? What if they created a token that people could purchase? What if they started talking about it on Twitter? What if its price really did explode as they clearly intended based on their conversation? What if their airdrop tokens were suddenly worth 6 figures? What if nobody actually took those screenshots, right? So that is something you have to consider. Is this just because they got caught, or was it just a joke to begin with? Now, the point of me bringing this up is not to shame these guys. I'm not putting a blame on anybody. I don't really know the facts. It could have very well been a joke. The point is to make you aware of the fact that there are lots of cryptos out there. There's copycat cryptos. There's these vegetable tokens. There's all of these different Y tokens. After the success of Wi-Fi, there's Y, FVII, FX, Data, DAX, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. There's hundreds of different spin-offs of tokens. Is every single token out there going to be the greatest investment, the greatest opportunity? No. Could you potentially get in on some of these worthless tokens? Of course you could. But just be careful, okay? Just be careful. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to kind of make a big disclaimer. I really just want people to learn to start to do their own research and, obviously don't invest more than you can afford to lose. And if you're investing in something, just know that if it's a project that you're just trying to make a quick flip and you don't actually believe in it, it's going to be hard for you to hold when the price is down. Just going back to Chainlink over here, for example, if you believe in Chainlink, this dip right here probably isn't bothering you that much because you do believe in the tech and you do believe in the potential. For example, I will give you one of my own examples, which is Polkadot. Now, Polkadot, I really like this project. I accumulate whenever it takes a dip, okay? I really see a value in this project, and I do think it's going to be a serious Ethereum competitor. So for me, when the price falls, I don't freak out. I actually get excited because I can buy more. If you're invested in Polkadot, on the other hand, and you don't care about the project and you're just trying to make some sick gains, then when the price is falling, you're probably going to freak out and you're probably going to panic sell. You see the point I'm trying to make here? Okay, that being said, let's talk about blockchain startup PureStake has raised 1.4 million in seed funding to launch Moonbeam Network, the Ethereum compatible smart contract platform built on top of Polkadot. So Moonbeam is a Polkadot parachain that's focused on making it easy for Ethereum developers to deploy existing smart contracts to a Polkadot-based environment. It means Ethereum developers can use the same developer tools and code they already use and can get access to the Polkadot ecosystem. So this is pretty incredible. Moonbeam launched its first testnet earlier this year and expects to deliver a parachain deployment on Polkadot in Q2 of next year. Esports betting protocol Bet Protocol and cross-chain synthetic asset protocol Linear Finance, which we spoke about, will be leveraging Moonbeam smart contracts. So this is pretty massive. Essentially, if you are on Ethereum and you're developing and you're used to using Ethereum, you're basically going to be able to do this over on Polkadot as well, except you're going to be able to utilize these parachains. You're going to have a lot faster speed. And, don't forget, we do have people from the Ethereum team already affiliated with Polkadot as well. So big news for Polkadot. Definitely excited for the Polkadot ecosystem. And yeah, so that's basically it for today's video. We went over my worst case scenario for Bitcoin, possibly. Not saying it's going to happen. We also talked about big investors like Chamath Palihapitiya doubling down, even though he's a multi-billionaire. He's still buying more Bitcoin as we speak. Also, the fact that we have a lot of crypto investors increasing allocation into crypto. And we did have a little bit of a rant today, but it wasn't so much to talk about like the calls that we make. It was more of just a disclaimer because there are a lot of new people in the space. It's very easy to get burned. It's very easy to follow hype. Sometimes it can seem like we're hyping things up, we're excited. At the end of the day, it is a pretty exciting space, right? Lots of new innovation, lots of things happening, but it also is a very risky space and you do need to be safe, okay? Hopefully that summarizes the video. Let me know what you think in the description below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are there any altcoins you're looking at right now that you think I should maybe check out that I've missed? Let me know in the description below. Thanks again for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this for the most part every single day. And yeah, I think that about covers it. So my name is K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.